Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a Browns fan, you know how unpredictable this season has been. It's been filled with ups and downs, moments of brilliance, and some tough setbacks. But right now, there's a story brewing that could redefine the trajectory of this team and shake up the entire AFC North. And it all centers around the young quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, who's been making waves in Cleveland, even if it's in a slightly different role than expected. So let's set the scene. This past week, the Browns made a pretty significant move. They officially promoted Shedeur Sanders to the backup quarterback spot ahead of Week 6. Now, this might seem like a minor change on paper, but it's actually a huge development, especially considering Sanders' journey, his talent, and how the team views him. Sanders was originally in the practice squad, working hard, learning the ropes behind Dillon Gabriel, the rookie starter. And for those of you who follow the Browns closely, you know Gabriel has been the focus of a lot of attention, especially after his impressive debut in London last week, where he threw for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns in a narrow 21-17 loss to the Vikings. But what's really interesting here is the team's decision to stick with Sanders as the backup, instead of promoting Bailey Zappe, who was also in the mix on the practice squad. There was some speculation that Zappe might leapfrog Sanders and get that backup role, but the Browns' coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, decided to go with Sanders. And Stefanski's explanation was pretty clear, emphasizing that they're always thinking about what's best for their players, especially young quarterbacks. He said that he wants to be intentional about his decisions, and that's really what it's all about, making sure each young player is put in the best position to develop and succeed. Stefanski also made a point to mention that moving to the backup role isn't just a technical change, it's a mental one. He highlighted that the backup quarterback's life is a different one. It's about being prepared at a moment's notice, supporting the starter, and being ready to step in if needed. That's a universal truth in the NFL, and it's especially true for a young quarterback trying to carve out his place in the league. Sanders, despite his recent promotion, hasn't spoken publicly since the move, but he did post a very succinct message on social media. "Thank you, God." That simple message has become kind of his signature over the years, showing humility, gratitude, and a focus on faith amid the chaos of professional football. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. Shedeur Sanders was drafted in the 5th round, pick number 144, which for many might seem like a long shot for the NFL. But the Browns saw potential in him, a developmental prospect who could grow into a valuable asset. And they've been very clear about their approach. Sanders is a project, someone they want to develop carefully, not rush. Up until now, he's been working mostly with backup players and running scout team duties. But that doesn't mean he's not eager or capable. Far from it. Sanders has shown a lot of maturity, a positive mindset, and a willingness to learn from the veterans and coaches around him. He's in a good mental space, as he himself pointed out, and that's so important for a young quarterback trying to find his footing. Despite being behind Gabriel now, Sanders remains confident. He said that he's ready to play whenever the coaches call on him. That's the kind of attitude you want in a backup, mentally prepared, supportive of the starter, and hungry to prove himself when given the chance. He's also emphasized that he's focused on supporting Dillon Gabriel as he prepares for his second start, which shows a team-first mentality that coaches love to see. Of course, this move opens up some interesting possibilities. If Gabriel struggles or faces injury, Sanders now has a real shot to get on the field this season. The Browns, as of now, are giving Gabriel an extended leash, especially considering he's a 3rd-round pick. That's a smart move. You want to see what he can do with more opportunities, especially after his impressive debut in London. But if things don't go as planned, Sanders could be the guy to step in and make a difference, especially given his talent and the confidence he's been showing. Looking at the bigger picture, Sanders' journey has been quite the story. He fell to the 5th round, which, in NFL terms, can be both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it shows teams see potential, but it also means he's got a lot to prove. Coming in as a developmental prospect, he's been learning behind the scenes, working with the best in the game, and waiting for his moment. And now that he's been promoted to the backup, that moment might be closer than many expected. The Browns' current season is a fascinating one. They've had their share of struggles, but also flashes of brilliance. Gabriel's debut was promising, and the team's defense, led by players like Myles Garrett, continues to be one of the best in the league. The offense has shown signs of potential, and with a young quarterback like Gabriel, there's room for growth. But the real intrigue lies in how Sanders will continue to develop in this new role. Will he be ready when the moment comes? Will he seize the opportunity if it presents itself? Those are the questions on everyone's mind. And let's not forget the division dynamics here. The AFC North is one of the most competitive, physical, and intense divisions in football. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are all fighting hard for playoff positioning, and any shift in quarterback stability or performance could have ripple effects. If Sanders gets a chance to play, even briefly, it could energize the Browns' offense and perhaps give them an edge in crucial games down the stretch. Conversely, if Gabriel struggles or gets injured, Sanders' readiness could be the key to keeping the Browns afloat. Now, I want to emphasize that Kevin Stefanski's approach here is very strategic. He's a coach known for his thoughtful decision-making, and his focus on development and team support is evident. He's not rushing Sanders into the spotlight prematurely. Instead, he's grooming him for the future, while ensuring the present team remains competitive. That's a delicate balance, but it's one that could pay off big time. If Sanders continues to work hard, stays mentally prepared, and learns from the veterans around him, he could become an integral part of the Browns' plans, not just for this season but for years to come. Looking ahead, the Browns are gearing up for a critical matchup against the Steelers in Pittsburgh, a division rivalry that always brings high stakes and high intensity. Gabriel will be the starter again, but Sanders' role as backup means he'll be watching closely, learning and preparing for his moment. The game will be a test of their resilience, their skill, and their mental toughness. And for Sanders, it's another step in his NFL journey, one that's just beginning to unfold. So for all Browns fans out there, this story isn't just about a backup quarterback. It's about patience, development, and the hope that this young man can rise to the occasion when called upon. It's about the strategic decisions made by the coaching staff, the trust placed in young talent, and the ongoing quest to build a team capable of competing at the highest level. The AFC North is fierce, and every game counts. But with Sanders now in the fold, Cleveland has another piece of the puzzle, someone who could become a crucial part of the team's future success. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this move? Do you believe Sanders has what it takes to seize the moment if it comes? Are you confident in Gabriel's ability to lead the team in these crucial weeks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.